It's not tough because you have a lot of Nigerians there who have worked in power system markets worldwide. You have them in Nigeria also, a lot of people who have experience. For example, the Chartered Institute of Power Engineers is full of power engineers with meritocratic background who can actually
That
help
could be
the
go
state.
where the states can go and shop for these experts.
Yeah, and the body is willing to assist because you see, we recognize that this is our profession. I mean, people who have worked for 35 years and have retired and now 70, they look back in their world of power systems and they feel a lot of regret. Regret that the power system that they studied for, they practiced for, never was.
Okay, we're going to come back now, and I want us to switch the conversation to a different level now, so that we'll look at the other aspects of our energy mix. The law, like I said earlier, there's a chapter that talks about renewable energy, and of course how that will be used. How we can leverage that in our energy mix. So we're going to come back. I've been speaking here. My guest is Engineer Idowu Oyebanjo, Managing Director, Eithfon Power Engineering Services Limited, and is helping us dissect some of the power issues and, of course, what we can look out for the year 2025. Stay with us. We'll be back after this short break, and then we'll move to the next conversation.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I know you see light from my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
All right, welcome back. And we've been discussing the power sector and, of course, expectations for 2025. What should we look out for the year? What are some of the issues? Where the focus should be? Should we be excited? 10 states now have their market, according to the Nigeria Electricity Commission. Should this be the focus for the year? How do we get more states to do that? But part of all of this is the issue of renewables. And the International Energy Agency projects that renewables will supply nearly 50% of global electricity by 2040. And Good 18 Nigeria already saw the future in this act. So I'll come to you. My guest is Engineer Idowu Oyebanjo. Engineer, I want to come back to you now that the issue of renewables, how can we bring it, add it or include it in our energy mix? What should the states be looking at for?
Thank you for that. It's a must. In fact, Africa is behind. I tell you what, last 2 weeks, Britain is connecting an undersea cable to North Africa. So they went to select a portion of Africa that has a lot of sunlight. The whole of Africa is full of sun. Yeah. Now they connected from that point in North Africa all the way under the Atlantic Ocean, just into their country to continue to power them. Because that will give them uninterrupted power supply, at least for a larger part of the day. Okay. And they can now use solar battery storage system to store during the day and use those ones for the light loads overnight. Okay. Now, but the African continent, where this massive amount of energy is being taken, is sleeping. It's not using it for donkey years now. We should have been the one pioneering the concept of renewables. Now,
Because we have enough and abundant sunlight.
oh yeah, but we don't have the willpower, the right kind of people who will say, look, energy is life. Without it, I cannot emancipate my people from mental slavery. So that's what we have. Now, the Electricity Act covers that.
Yes,
The Electricity Act has made a requirement, a mandatory requirement, and this is where you start to see meritocracy. It is right there that every participant, every generator in that country, even the distribution company in that state, they are supposed to use a certain percent of their portfolio from renewables.
And this is in the law.
It's in the law. It has been silent about. Nobody has talked about it. I just look at everybody. And that's one weapon you have to get it right. Look, what we have is some microgrids will spring up. In Lagos State, for example, that beach that is having waves from the sea, we can turn it to power through tidal barrages. In the north, we have wind, we have solar, we have water everywhere around. Everywhere around this country has water. And you can have small dams. You used to have them on your dam before, and used to produce electricity, but it was stopped in the 1940s. It used to produce electricity. But because everybody went into Niger Delta oil and left their own stuff.
And the oil is quick money, so everybody went there.
Yeah. So, but you need the first thing you build in a nation is power system. The first thing. So we are happy that this law has it. We are looking for states that the electricity market regulator will then say, look, you know what? People should put solar on top of their roof and generate electricity. And we will incentivize that and say, look, you know what? You will not pay for electricity again. Just generate electricity yourself.
So you're saying there's a huge opportunity here for off-grid players.
Oh, wonderful. So much. Microgrid, off-grid players, and so on and so forth.
But I worry because before the act itself, I mean, the off-grid market, states could still play in that market. I mean, there are rural areas where if a state government builds a mini grid, they will not be breaking any law.
No.
But for some reason, it was never leveraged, it was never explored. Everybody seems to think that the solution is, I want to have control on generation, transmission, and distribution. Why is that so?
A number of issues, a number of reasons for that. Yes, it's one of the arguments from those who say, look, we are excited about the Electricity Act, but what will happen? Because they have had this opportunity and they didn't do anything. Remember that for investors, profit is an important thing.
Yes.
So investors will not want to go into those rural areas because they know that economic activities in those places are not so much. And then the ability to pay back will not be there. So that's one reason why. But that's not to say the states shouldn't have done it. Another reason I think the states may have stepped back is because, you know, you have the Rural Electrification Agency,
the
REA, as a national body, getting all the funds, getting all the support. So they are supposed to now be the Rural Electrification Agency for each state. However, what has happened over the years, people who occupied those positions have taken a section of the country only to put stuff. There is this energizing education where they selected universities in cities.
And there was quite a lot of funding, to be fair, from the REA and World Bank. You know,
so if they can bring those fundings to some of these states, 10 states, and give them and say, look, though it's from national, but we are giving you to fulfill your rural electrification aspect of your electricity market, I think that will go a long way. That's not saying that we are absolving the states from not taking this advantage since it has been there. Let me tell you the history of this Electricity Act you are looking at. It has been there since 1979 Constitution. 79. And 1979 is 46 years to 2025 now. Is that right? Yeah.
Around that.
Yeah, it's 46 years. So they removed it in 1999. They removed this. So all this Electricity Act we are even happy about, the thing they put back in 2023 was already there in 1979. Some people just removed that clause, that particular sentence there.
And we don't know why that happened.
Yeah, somebody just did it and nobody knew in what they called the 1999 Constitution. Very bad. And that set us back over 40 years because it took exactly 40-something years
to get that back.
To get it back. And that's the story of power system. Any damage you do in a power system, like the incorrectly implemented privatization exercise of 2013, that's setting the country back. You can see how long it's taking now for us to come out of it. It's 12 years now, 2025, by November 1st. And if you don't, the only way out is this decentralization, I said, which will bring in rich opportunity of renewables, solar parks, mixture of energy mix.
I'm going to bring a few off-grid people to talk about how they want to leverage the opportunities we see. But before we wrap up now, investment this year, 2025, the power sector, where do you see investment going into, or where do you think more money, more investment should go into? Because the minister says he wants to spend 8 billion on advocacy just to tell Nigerians how to pay their electricity bills. In my view, I think that should not be the best way to spend 8 billion. But for you, where do you see, more investment should go in? Just in the next 1 minute.
Yeah, metering. Okay, if you get meters to people, then you are having the right investment. Also in the networks. So networks are dilapidated, they are not good. Overhead lines, cables, power transformers, and so on and so on. But in the right places. You must follow system studies. System planning must be the key part of your investment strategy.
Interesting. Thank you so much. And I think this is all we can take for today. We've been discussing the power sector and expectations for 2025. As I said earlier, 10 states now have their market. What does this mean for the common man? How do we get power to Nigerians? What will this mean for the different states? It's what our guest here has been able to analyze for us, and some of the issues we need to look out for. Where should money go for the year? Very important. Energy mix, renewables, solar. I don't know briefly, sir. Solar, the adoption of solar, what do you think? How has it been so far?
It's very slow, but
very slow.
It needs to pick up with this Electricity Act.
It needs to pick up. It needs to pick up. All right. Thank you so much. My guest is Engineer Idowu Oyebanjo, who is the Managing Director at Idfon Power Engineering Services Limited. I've been speaking to him. And this is the Power Energy Outlook. And we'll see you again next week as we bring another guest to indeed help us to look at another aspect of the energy sector and what you should expect for the year. But I hope this has been very informative for you. You join us exactly same time, 6 p.m. next week, Friday, as we continue the conversation. My name is Wisdom Chap Jumbo, your host, and it's been nice having you all. Thank you. Till next.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.